have reached Ranches on Toilet Review. I'm your man, Steele, and today I'll be reviewing from SH Figure Arts, Super Saiyan Son Goku. SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan Son Goku. Before I get into the actual review, I just want to go over some of the fantastic details on this packaging. Up front here's the display you want to show on your figure, and all the accessories inside. Top corner here you have the SH Figure Arts logo. Alongside here it says Super Saiyan Son Goku. The games begin. Below the packaging here you have dynamic movable shoulder system. Then over here you have the actual picture of the figure. Then on the side of the packaging here it kind of carries over where you have the figure in other various poses. Then in the corner here you have a holographic sticker that says TAMASHII Nation Quality. Below that you have a warning label that says ages 15 and up, choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3. Then down here at the very bottom you have a holographic sticker that says Toy Animation Certificate of License Grant. Next to that you have the Dragon Ball Z logo. Next to that you have the Bandai Namco logo. Then in the corner here you have the Bandai emblem. Then inside the packaging here, again it says Super Saiyan Son Goku, the games begin. Then down here you have SH Figure Arts, again with Super Saiyan Son Goku, the games begin. On the back of the packaging here, again you have Super Saiyan Son Goku, the games begin. The over here says a full array of interchangeable hand and face parts allow for expressive portrayal of the anime. Down there you have dynamic movable shoulder system. Over here it says simple style and heroic action. SH Figure Arts is a standard action figure series that uses the art style and technology of TAMASHII Nation to pursue character expression through humanoid action. Then up here it says super modeling. Masterfully crafted sculpt accurately depicts the character form in meticulous detail. Then down there you have super action. Dynamic articulation enables recreation of iconic action sequences from the anime. SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan Son Goku, the games begin. Goku was released on October 2025 with the suggested retail price of $56.99. It's available at select retailers. Super Saiyan Son Goku has multiple points of articulation that features his outfit from the Dragon Ball Z Cell Games story arc. His accessories include 4 pairs of interchangeable hands, 3 alternate facial expressions, and 1 interchangeable headpiece. Goku stands 5.5 inches tall, and he is meant for fans ages 15 and up. Now they have Super Saiyan Son Goku on my display table. Let's go over some of the display features and accessories. First of all, I talk about his interchangeable hands. He comes with 4 pairs of additional interchangeable hands. The first pair here, where he has 2 fingers up just like that. And this is where he can do his instant transmission, where he can teleport to any part of the universe. Very, very cool. The next 2 hands here are a little different. It's 2 fingers up, 2 fingers down, and his thumb sticking out. I'm not sure if this is where he blocks an energy blast from the enemy, or he's doing an energy blast towards an enemy, but it's not his trademark Kamehameha. The next 2 hands are 2 open hands right here. And the last pair of hands is where he's doing his trademark Kamehameha, where he puts his palms together, his fingers curled in, he does an energy beam right between his wrists, and shoots out the Kamehameha energy beam. Very cool. And these hand sculpts are so finely detailed. I'm going to bring in the open hand, because there's lots of detail in this. You got back of the hand detail, you got knuckle detail, you got fingernail detail. Flip the hand over, you got some palm detail, we got the little creases right there. You got the creases where the fingers bend. Very, very nicely done. Or to swap out these interchangeable hands, take Goku's hand and you pull away from the wrist, you hear a little pop, just like that. At the end of the wrist here, you have a hinge joint with a ball socket joint. At the end of the hand, you have a ball socket port. And TAMASHII Nation SH Figures takes a different take on interchangeable hands, because most action figure companies do the whole thing where they put the peg at the back of the hand, you get the port hole at the wrist, and you just plug the hand in through the wrist. But TAMASHII Nation has this hinge joint right here. At the end of this hinge joint, you have ball socket joints. Back of the hand here, you have ball socket port. And it adds more points of articulation because you just plug that hand right in until you hear a little pop. Just like that. And now you have Goku with this interchangeable hand, where you can have the wrist bend in and out, and it spins all the way around. Very, very nicely done. And each one of these hands is specific to a pose from the anime or from the manga. Like I said, this is from Instant Transmission, Kamehameha, and whatever Energy Blast. And I used to gripe about having so many additional hands because I thought they were useless accessories, but now I know because a lot of fans like to pose their figures in their trademark poses, and with these additional hands it makes it very, very doable. You can put these off to the side. Because the next accessory I want to bring in are his alternate facial expressions. And he comes with 3 of them, and these are very specific to a scene in the Cell game saga. This one right here is where Goku's looking back at his friends and he's about to sacrifice himself, where Cell is about to self-destruct. So what Goku does is he looks over back at his friends, he does the instant transmission where he teleports him and Cell to King Kai's planet. That's where he destroys the King Kai's planet. We all know what happens. That isn't Goku's final farewell because he does come back later on, and Cell does not die in that explosion. He regenerates somehow from one cell. But that's what this facial expression comes from. This one right here is where he's powering up, which he does a lot throughout the series. The next facial expression is where he's looking over at his friends in frustration because his friends are being beat up by Cell Jr. and there's nothing Goku could do at this point in time because he's powerless. And that is until Gohan hits Super Saiyan level 2 and saves the day. But the default face here is a normal Goku kind of peering out at his enemy right before battle. Very, very cool. Or to swap out these facial expressions, you have this hairpiece right here. It's separate from the headpiece. Get that hairpiece and you pull it away, because the headpiece is being held on, or the hairpiece is being held on by a little tab right there. The headpiece right here, alternate headpiece, has a porthole right there. And you just plug that right back in just like that. But in order to chase the facial expression, it's just a faceplate. You just pull it away from the head, just like that. And it's being held on by 2 little pegs right there in the middle. You have a little tab. You have some portholes in a head sculpt right here. You just plug it right in, just like that. And you have this new facial expression. You do that hairpiece, get that tab right there. You want to put it right back in that porthole. And now you have Goku with his alternate facial expression. Very cool. And like I said, these are very specific to a scene in the manga or the anime, which I do love because you could almost put them in any dynamic pose from that series. I'm going to put these off to the side. So the last accessory I want to bring in is alternate headpiece. This alternate headpiece can be changed, and it's a little difficult because it's very complicating. And I know this figure is the latest wave of, or latest protocol or design of the latest SH figure, TAMASHII NATIONS, where they've done some stuff where they've improved the SH figures, and like a lot of us look at these figures like these figures are really, really well done. Like what improvements can be made, and they figured it out. And I'll get into that specifically in a moment. But in order to swap out the head here, you do have to take it apart. You have to take that hairpiece out, pull it out, hit that faceplate. You also have to pull that out too. Now you get the headpiece right here. And the headpiece is held on by like a weird ball socket joint, where this ball socket here is not actually the ball socket joint that ports into the head. There's a hinge joint right here. At the top of that hinge joint, you have another ball socket joint. Well, this is where things get kind of hard because this hinge joint does move around a lot. So I gotta figure out a way to take the headpiece right here. Back of the headpiece right here, you have a little ball socket port. I want to take that ball socket joint and push it right into that port, just like that. It went in the first time, and now you have Goku with his new head. And the head right here, that additional head that it does come with, is different from the actual default head, which I just put back on, because the alternate head right here, the additional head that comes with, is a headpiece where his hair's standing straight up, and that's where he's kind of powering up. And I'm guessing maybe the facial expression where he's screaming goes with this headpiece. I'll just put that right in, pop that hairpiece out by accident, and I'm gonna pop it right back in. And it looks like this hairpiece is a little different because it has 2 portholes too. And you got a little tab right there. The headpiece right here has 2 pegs and a porthole. And it looks like it's opposite, but it serves its purpose. And then you got Goku kind of powering up with his hair standing up. Very, very nicely done. Let's put it off to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and reassemble Goku. Now I want to go over some of his improvements, because this figure is the latest improvement, like I mentioned earlier on, where they did some stuff where they fixed a lot of us collectors. We complained about certain things, and I know I did a review of the earlier version of Super Saiyan Goku, and I think that's the one where he first lands on Namek and he's battling Freezer. But the one thing I noticed when I pose him in certain poses, when you lift his arm up, you have a little gap right there in the sleeve, and there's a lot of gapping in the joints. And here they cleaned it up a lot, where they made the articulation much more cleaner. The only gapping I see in the joints is right here, but that's forgivable. And if you pull too much, it will pop out of place, but you can pop it back into place. But there's a lot less gapping on this version of Goku. I mean, there's gapping right there, but that's given because this is a plastic mold right here. It's not a soft good. If you're wondering what a soft good is, a soft good is anything that's clothing-wise on an action figure. And it's very hard to do clothing on the Dragon Ball Z figures, and I have seen some in the past that were done, and the cloth doesn't really conform to the body like the anime does. I mean, you get the specific folds in the clothing that kind of make them look menacing and proportional, and you don't really get that when you do soft goods on a Dragon Ball Z figure. So sticking to a molded, set of clothes or molded outfits is much better, because I mean, you do have a lot of points of articulation. You have toe articulation, you have ankle articulation, where it's kind of on a ball socket joint and a hinge joint. You have boot articulation, you have knee articulation, where it's double jointed, where you can like bend the knee, you can point the toe down. It's really cool. You have thigh articulation, hip articulation, waist articulation, torso articulation. You have double jointed elbow here. You have bicep articulation. You have shoulder. You have butterfly articulation, which is very nice. And like I mentioned earlier on, now you can lift the arm up, and you don't see that gap right there, which I'll show you in a second. And I did see that right there. That might be a little problem, but I mean, there's certain poses you can put it in where you can bring the arm down a little bit and hide that gap. And as you saw earlier on, you saw that weird articulation in the head, where it's a ball socket joint on top of a ball socket joint, where it can rotate and you go up and down. And you got neck articulation right here, where it meets the collarbone. Very nice thing. But you could almost like pose this figure where you can bring the arms in, which is not something you could do with like a lot of action figures. I mean, you could pose this figure in a lot of different action poses, where you could fly, and just really cool. It's just TAMASHII Nation and SH Figure Arts, they've done a great job with their engineering, and just, I mean, I've looked at the past SH Figure Arts figures, and I just did not see any way they can improve it, and they have. I mean, just comparing him to an older version of Goku, which I'm going to bring in the Goku, the non-Super Saiyan version of Goku that came out not too long ago, right here. And when you lift the arm up, that's what I'm talking about, the sleeve kind of has that gap in the middle here, and it kind of does that restriction too, the shoulder, because you can't really bring the arm up too high. Use the sleeve right here. So the clothing did play a big part, where they actually, instead of doing that, they did a different thing where they engineered it much better, where you can actually lift the arm all the way up, just like that. It's such a big improvement. And I guess this is a 4.0 version of the SH Figure Arts, where they've added those points of articulation, those improvements. So there was a previous version of this Goku that was released, and that's due to the old engineering. So this is the newer engineering, the newer improved Goku. Just so nicely done, and I'm very happy with this figure. This figure's available. I mean, the price point's a little higher than the standard SH Figure Art figure, but I mean, this Goku is my new definitive Goku. But if you guys found any information in this review valuable, please like and share this video. Also, if you really enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, and while you're there, click the bell to be notified of any future videos. I want to thank you guys for watching Red Steele's Toy Collector Review. I'll check you guys out next time.